going to be a little bit noisy in here because I'm in the bird room. And that is our educational Amazon Alex doing some talking. I wanted to talk with you briefly today about one of the birds that was recently surrendered to the rescue. And I've been working with this bird. His name is Rocco, and we're working on some training. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the training that I'm doing with Rocco. He has not been warming up around here very fast. So we're taking things at his pace as far as training goes. And I'm just going to show you guys some of the things that I'm doing to get him more used to me. He has taken to me above anybody else at the rescue right now. Just continuing on with the training here. So this is Rocco. So one of the things that I do when I'm working with birds is I use walnuts to try to get their attention and cooperation. So a lot of these walnuts are whole, but I'm going to be breaking them off in little pieces, and you can see that Rocco is already starting to look at what I have in my hand. You want that? Is that yummies? Rocco absolutely loves walnuts, so that makes my job a lot easier because I don't have to guess what's going to be his training reward. So Rocco to date has not wanted to step up on me yet, and so I have been working on other things with Rocco instead to try to get him more socialized and kind of working with me. So usually I start out giving them a training treat right away, which a lot of people will disagree with that, and that's okay. So I am actually working on getting Rocco down the cage as far as I can by rewarding him with some walnuts. So we're going to do that real quick. And I just kind of talk with him as we're doing this training. I have previously gotten him all the way down to the floor, so that has been going on really well. And I might show you guys a step up as well, just to kind of see how Rocco reacts when I ask him to step up. So I do want to let you know that I'm breaking off tiny little pieces off of this piece of walnut here, so that they're just like mini training rewards, and then I use that to get him back into his cage as well, but then I give him like what's considered a jackpot reward. No tricks, just treats. Thank you, baby bird. Here. Here. So if I notice that he's being hesitant, I kind of back my body off a little bit, because I definitely want him to come and get this nut. So then you notice how Rocco responded to that. He was a little bit more scared, so I ended up moving the walnut up a little bit closer to him because he considered that to be a little bit more attainable. Let's have you come get this one. So I put my arm back down a little bit further, and we're just going to keep working him down the cage. And when I'm doing this, I'm keeping my hand in the same spot. So I'm not moving the treat. Once he comes as far as I want him to come, I give him the treat right away. So he's actually really responding very well to this, and he is doing exactly what I want him to be doing. So each time that I offer him a nut, I'm going further and further down the cage. I'm making him come to me, Birds have a natural curiosity, and so when I'm doing things like this, really tapping into that natural curiosity for going and checking things out. We're also building trust by doing these exercises because I'm trying to establish that, hey, you know, like I said before, no tricks, just treats, and I want him to learn to trust me. So this is how we're building trust. You're gonna come down further. Good job, Rocco. So I usually work in a little bit of language or clicking or something like that when I'm working with birds too, to let them know that they are doing a good job, and then they can use that as a cue. Some people train by clicking, some people don't, so we're going to see if we can get him to go just a little bit further now, just past the food dishes. And he got it, he went all the way there. So now I know I'm going to be a little bit out of the camera shot because I just have my tripod set up here, but to continue his training, we are going to go a little bit lower than the food dish so that he can get at that also. So I have to wait until he finishes the nut. So that's telling me that my little chunks of walnut are probably a little bit bigger than they should be. But we're going to make, ooh, I just got that one to break in half, so we're going to make that one work. He's getting like really super good at this. I always try to also put myself on eye level or below. Something else that's he's going to benefit from this sort of training is it's unnatural for birds to actually come down or fly down, so it's building a secondary thing with Rocco too, where he's going to be able to come down. So this can come in handy if you're, for example, going outside and trying to free flight your bird. Say that your bird ends up in a tree, or maybe you're inside in a gymnasium or something and they end up in a rafter. This is a really good way to have a bird actually come down to you, because that's not normal for them to do. So I'm going to go a little bit lower, and I know I'm going to go out of the camera angle here, but you'll get to see Rocco climbing down that much further. So he's not really seeming very interested in coming down. He's on the door right now, so I'm actually going to take the nut all the way to the bottom of the door and see if he'll use the door instead. So just notice how I took my time. I really took my time with him, and I let him completely guide everything that was going on. So now I am going to show you guys how I get Rocco back into his cage. He was very hesitant on that last maneuver to come all the way down. And so we're going to call it a day for the training session. I always like my training sessions to end on a positive note, if at all possible. So I would consider this a positive note, and I'm going to go ahead and get him back in his cage. I'm not going to use a little tiny chunk of walnut. I'm going to use a whole walnut half to get him inside of his cage. Okay guys, so you can see I've made a little bit of progress with Rocco. I was able to get him to come down to me for a couple of different training rewards. That's just part of the training that we're working on right now. I did not end up offering him my arm because I could feel that he kind of wasn't in the mood for doing something like that. But I did go ahead and get him successfully back into his cage, and I only used 2 walnut halves. So basically I used 1 walnut for that entire training session. So again, we're going slow right now. We're going at Rocco's pace. We want to make sure that we're really working on building that trust. So if we can establish that, then we can move on to bigger training things. So I will be covering that in some future videos, and I'm probably going to be showing you guys a lot more of Rocco's story going forward and how the training is progressing, and hopefully get him to the point where he is stepping up. He's really trusting of me. So we will get there. Don't know how long it's going to take, but we're just going to keep working on this slowly. I typically come down and I do a training session with Rocco around every other day right now. So, and I'm only doing about like 5 to 10 minute training sessions with him. I do let him spend time out of his cage without a training session because I know that he likes it. But since I've trained him to go back inside of his cage with a nut, he is now very accustomed to, okay, that's what I get. If I go back inside of my cage, I get a jackpot nut. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. And remember to subscribe to our channel. If you like the videos that we have, hit that subscribe button right on the bottom there. Thanks, guys.